Okay guys, this next activity is called optical art, where we're going to bring up an image from a two-dimensional surface. We're going to make it look 3D but built into the two-dimensional surface. So we're going to go ahead and sketch or trace our hand. Let's go ahead and use our hand as our first model. So I'm going to trace my hand, trace your hand, spread your fingers apart a little bit so you can get that pencil in between. And this is just the easiest way to get started with understanding how to do this. Okay, so now I have traced my hand. Probably can't see it, huh? I've traced my hand. Okay, see that? And then now we want to find the straight axis. And I usually start with the arm area. This is our long bone right here. So the axis comes straight through the center of your hand. Just do a light dotted line there so that you know where your axis is. That is your axis. All right, so now what we're doing is we're going to establish a volume-like form resting on a flat piece of paper. This is an illusionistic optical style of drawing. Go ahead and do it with your pencil for the first time so that you're not too messed up about it. So go ahead and use your pencil the first time to get comfortable with this whole process. So I'm going to come out straight. Now the paper is flat. Lines on the flat surface have to be straight. Lines on a surface with volume has to follow the terrain of the volume. Okay, so we're going to come in here with a straight line. Just start anywhere you want. Anywhere you want. You can start down here, up here, wherever you want. It's okay. So come in straight to your object. Okay, so this is the axis. Maybe I should draw it a little bit darker so y'all can see it. That is your axis right there. So you're coming in straight on the sheet of paper, and then you're gonna go up because our sides have depth. You're gonna go up and then around and then flat, back down and then flat on the paper. Now keep in mind, this line and this line did not end up on the same plane because we had to follow the axis of the hand on the arm and the hand first. We had to center the arch that's going over the body part. We had to center it. You got equal amounts of the arch on each side of the axis line. All right, and then it comes down and gives you this depth on the side of your arm and then straight back out onto the paper. So let's do another one. Straight in, oops, straight in. Okay, straight in. And it gets weird, but you have to focus on your axis. Focus on your axis. Okay, focus on that axis. That your lines have to be divided across that axis. Now we're here around the hand area. So crawl up the hand a little bit and across, oops, and then down and over. So this gives you a sense of volume. When you crawl up the side, take the line in, crawl up the side, then cross over the part and then back, crawl down the side and out. So you're going to crawl up the side, across, and crawl down the side and out. And then when you get to fingers, let's go up here to fingers. These have an axis too. This straight axis here, this axis here, this axis here, this axis here, and this one here. All of them have an axis that you have to allow the arch to cross over. So here we go. We got a line coming into the thumb here, and it's going to cross over and down, and then it crosses straight, remember, horizontal, over and down and then this whole hand is kind of curved right here, and down and then out. So you have to be thinking about a whole bunch of stuff all at once. Do it in pencil first to get comfortable. Down and out. You always want to crawl up and down the sides of the hand. And be aware of the terrain. See here, I dip down just a little bit because we have this little valley right here. We have a hump, and then we have a valley, then we have another hump. You got bunches of valleys up here if you want to also focus on your tendons and your stuff in there. But you have a hump here and a valley there. So you come in straight, you hump over, and you go all the way down and out. All right, so your fingers are special. Go around, and then over, around, and there's a valley here. There's probably a hump here, valley there, hump, valley, hump. Look at your fingers. Look at your fingers. The paper always gets a vertical line. The paper that your hand is sitting on always gets a vertical line, always. All right? So that's what we're doing for illusionistic art. Now, the more you crawl up the side of your body part, the more illusionistic it gets. So if you take it, go drastic, up, around, and then down, over, up, around, and then down, over, you get a bigger hump of hand. Your hand seems to be lifting up a little bit more off the surface. So consider that when you're doing this activity too. Be creative. Do it a couple different ways so you can see that you can make this whole thing way more illusionistic. Also, if you put these lines a lot closer together, you really improve the illusionistic visibility of this type of artwork. It almost kind of encases and draws your contours for you when you put them closer together. See that? Your contours are almost being drawn for you when you crawl up more steeply. These are pretty shallow crawls right here. These are pretty shallow crawls right here. These are really steep crawls up here. So test it out, play with it, do more, don't do less, always do more. Crawl up and around and then down. Some of your lines will overlap because of the arrangement of our hands. So you might have a whole bunch of lines over here that are all stacked. That is okay. That's what's going to happen. You want to make sure that you understand basically these three lines that I just kind of, they should have been in this direction. Because remember, these have to cross over evenly and then move over. Cross over evenly and then move over. They all have to cross over evenly and then move over with the axis of the whole hand and then the axis of the individual fingers. All right, so practice that and I'll see you back at the next tutorial. This is so much fun.